What's going on, everybody? With schools and colleges getting back into full swing, I figured I would change up my tone a little bit from my horror series and go with something just a little more lighthearted. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking my top 10 high school movies. Let's get into it. Alright, now starting off my list at number 10 is gonna be a classic in my younger years, American Pie. Now, while this movie doesn't exactly age gracefully, it has to be credited for bringing the teenage angst genre to the 21st century. This is a look into the mind of most teenage boys and what they're really thinking about during high school. And Jason Biggs just does such a great job of portraying some of these awkward moments that we all experience in school.
Would you shut up?
Hey, Jimmy. Just wanted to say sweet dreams.
Yeah, sweet dreams. Good night, Mom.
Yes, good night.
I feel like he was the perfect casting choice for our main actor. This was also Seann William Scott's feature film debut, in which he was paid only $8,000 to play Steve Stifler.
What the fuck are you doing here? You dipshit.
And despite some of the issues in this movie, it gave us some great laughs, a really good soundtrack, two legendary characters between Stifler and, of course, Jim's dad, played by Eugene Levy, who may very well be the best part of this movie.
Well, this is the female form, and they have focused on the breasts, which are used primarily to feed young infants, and also in foreplay.
And it also popularized an acronym that everybody on the planet knows, unless you were living under a rock when this movie came out.
Dude, that chick's a MILF.
And for bonus points, a Blink-182 cameo never hurts either. Coming in next at number 9 is gonna be Grease. Now, the plot to this movie is nothing new or groundbreaking, but to me this is a perfect example of the parts outdoing the whole. The set designs, the characters, and obviously the soundtrack are the stars of the show. The entire movie just has a really good energy about it, and John Travolta is a lot of fun to watch on screen.
But this car could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. Why could be grease lightning?
Now, me personally, I'm not usually a fan of musical type movies, but as with every rule, there's always an exception. And my exception to this is Grease. And although the story is nothing special here, you do get a nice payoff, as the final act, and in turn the final song, is the best part of this movie, hands down.
I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control, 'cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man. And my heart is set on you. You better shape up, you better understand. To my heart I must be true.
So my number 9 pick is gonna be Grease. Coming in next at number 8 is gonna be Juno. A fantastic cast, a sharp screenplay, and a movie full of heart. Juno is an emotional coming-of-age drama with really believable characters. Ellen Page is amazing, and she is hands down my favorite part of this movie.
Well, if it isn't McGuff the crime dog. Back for another test?
I think the first one was defective. The plus sign looks more like a division symbol, so I remain unconvinced.
And not only is this film smart and full of emotion, but it also somehow manages to be genuinely funny, especially with the subject matter as serious as a high school girl getting pregnant and trying to decide what she wants to do with this baby.
No. There it is. That little pink plus sign is so unholy.
That ain't no Etch-a-Sketch. This is one doodle that can't be undid, Holmes Gillett.
Now, as I mentioned with the cast, You have Jennifer Garner, Michael Cera, J.K. Simmons, and Jason Bateman, and they all bring something to this movie. And the relationship between Juno and Michael Cera's character Bleecker just felt really genuine to me.
You know, Bleak, I was thinking, and I'm sorry I was such a huge bitch to you. You don't deserve it.
It's okay, you know. It's okay.
And also, I think I'm in love with you.
You mean as friends?
No. I mean, for real. Because you're like the coolest person I've ever met, and you don't even have to try, you know?
I try really hard, actually.
To me, this truly felt how two high school kids would react in this situation. All in all, I love this movie. I love its heart. I love the screenplay. And this is a fantastic film. So number 8, Juno. Can't wait to see the reactions on my number 7 pick, which is Mean Girls. Love it or hate it, Mean Girls was absolutely a cult classic. It features an all-star cast, has some of the most memorable lines in recent cinema history.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
And all in all, it's a pretty accurate portrayal of the high school experience. The drama, the dialogue, and the stereotypes to me are all pretty spot on from when I was in school. And while it seems shallow on the surface, this movie to me always felt funnier and even more insightful than most average teenage comedies. Tina Fey was excellent as Mrs. Norbury, which in many ways was the voice of reason throughout this movie. And you can't talk Mean Girls without mentioning Regina George, the Queen of Mean.
Oh my God, I love your skirt. Where did you get it?
It was my mom's in the 80s.
Vintage. So adorable.
Thanks.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen. I can't go to Taco Bell. I'm on an all-carb diet. God, Karen, you are so stupid.
And not only is Rachel McAdams a fantastic actress, which helps sell the role, but the character just resonates so much because, let's face it, every high school has at least a few girls just like Regina George. This movie's just a good time. So coming in at number 7, Mean Girls. In at number 6 is gonna be Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This movie was all about being young and having fun, and moving beyond the typical teenage angst genre that was so huge during this time. John Hughes decided to give us the character of Ferris Bueller.
Bueller. Bueller. Bueller.
A more upbeat teenager who realized that life and learning doesn't just happen in a classroom.
Incredible. One of the worst performances of my career, and they never doubted it for a second. How could I possibly be expected to handle school on a day like this?
Aside from obviously Matthew Broderick, the supporting cast in this movie is equally great, and man, do I feel for Cam every time I watch this movie.
Maybe he's really sick. Maybe he isn't just torturing himself. What is that?
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
And on top of just being a fun film, I think this movie also touches on a very important theme of kind of breaking away from the conventional and going your own way or forming your own path, so to speak. Matthew Broderick really was the perfect casting decision, as I feel like his charm really made the character of Ferris Bueller believable, and it felt like a character that kids in all these different kind of cliques throughout the school actually would get along with. So number 6, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.